Good evening. Whoa, that's big. I can't really get further away. I prefer it when it's smaller. Can't wait for us. You sound is so light and smooth. What have you done to JBR? This is how I normally sound, isn't it? Just double checking that everything is normal. Looking good. Cheers, Jay. No way. Yo, hello, Jakaj. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. JBR equals hot. Absolute lies. I'm having none of it. Remember this hardboiled detective voice. Maybe I'm just a little bit quieter. Let's have a look. Yeah, I've just taken down the gain a touch. Let's put that up to 10. How about now? That should be a little bit better. Sexy lads. Oh. So hopefully, I saw a face cam. Yes, there is indeed a face cam. Welcome, welcome. Where is King Boo? King Boo will be joining in just a second. I just thought I'd say hello a little bit first. In fact, we will join King Boo now. Hello, King Boo.
Hello.
Yay. Just wanted to double check. Volume's okay for everyone listening. In fact, I'm just going to turn the music off now because now we've got two of us in.
I moved it out.
No, I had my own music on the stream.
Someone put Mr. Lonely on in here. Very sad.
I'm assuming that was a mod.
It was Xerxes.
Kind of feels like I'm a shade site paying money, if you know what I mean. Can we go private? Absolutely not. Is it the curtains? Is that what does it? How much? Oh boy. But yeah, so welcome, King Boo. We've been chatting about this for the last few days a little bit, and hopefully it's going to be a bit fun. Curtains definitely helped another AOE streamer. Yeah, mine are pretty dull though. Just like plain purple.
We need to get some new ones for Christmas then.
Yeah. Yeah, get some more exciting ones. And Missy's just come in, so we'll get her on in a second. Paying 5k for those curtains. Those are not the hair curtains I like. But show Missy. Okay, come on, pups. Up. Come on, up. There you go. Here's Missy. She's quite happy. Especially licking my beard. So cute. She's a good girl, she is. Hello, Xerxes. You remembered your login? Yeah, no, Missy's a good girl. She's now sat just here, so she's quite happy. Hey, baskets. But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by. It's slightly weird to try and run a talk show. I've never done one before, other than like, streaming, which is kind of a talk show, isn't it? Anyway, all the heavyweights are here. So yeah, this is kind of like our first attempt at it, so we'll give it a try and see kind of what works and try and improve in the future. But yes, welcome, Boo. I've been rambling on. Asking hard-hitting, awkward questions. I don't think Boo's going to have any trouble expressing opinions.
I'll make them up on the spot, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But they'll be strongly held.
Xerxes is asking, did you like the music?
I loved it. My favourite thing in the world. I love it when he does cute little things for me like that.
Yeah. Endearing. But anyway, on to actual serious talks and stuff. You had the bot off, didn't you? So yeah.
Oh no, I didn't.
I'm trying to find my list of things I sent you. Yeah, so we've obviously just come through. Considering who your guest is, do you think it's okay to boo him off the stage? Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I'm gonna actually kind of start talking rather than reading chat all the time because I'm getting distracted every single time. Pro streamer. But yeah, so we've just had the first Age of Empires 4 tournament this weekend. So it's the Genesis with the Viper winning it in the final. Boo, how much did you manage to watch of it?
I watched exactly 2 sets,
Were
both
they
of Recon.
okay? I was going to say, were they both of recon sets?
Yep,
Nice.
yep. It's the only interest I really had in it.
Yeah. And that is kind of in line with your interest in Age of Empires 4 in general, isn't it?
I just don't see it as that fun. Other people seem to like it, so whatever, they can enjoy it.
Yeah,
But it just
absolutely.
doesn't look like a game for me.
I mean, like the whole
However,
scene is
Recon.
just, oh yeah, of course, recon. But yeah, like the whole scene at the moment is very divided, and there's a lot of like arguments and toxicity, I'd probably say, and it's just absolute madness. Like you've
A
got
lot of it, I think, is just people are bored with nothing else to do.
true, true toxic community. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jakash, the community is becoming toxic. Um, but yeah, like you've got people that are fans of Age of Empires 2, and then people that are fans of Age of Empires 4, and people that are fans of both. But it's kind of becoming a case where it's becoming almost like tribalism.
That's the weird one. I don't really get it.
No, I don't.
Like, if you like it, like it. If you don't, don't. And that's that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people saying that I don't know. It's almost like mudslinging to the other group. So Age of Empires 2 fans are like criticizing people that like Age of Empires 4, and Age of Empire 4 fans are criticizing those that want to stick with 2. And it's just
It was
really confusing.
so obvious from the start that most streamers would give it a go.
Yeah.
Fine, new game, similar game, give it a go, cool. And then at some point, most of them would probably come back or find a balance, and that would be that, and no one would care. I think the reason people care more is because you do have King of the Desert around the corner.
Yeah, I mean it's something that's going to be taking a lot of the community's focus over the next 4 weeks or so.
Runs up until nearly Christmas, I think.
Yeah, I think the 12th of December is final weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
So best part of 4 weeks now dedicated to King of the Desert 4. We obviously
Starts tomorrow.
Yes, starts tomorrow 15 GMT, and I will be casting the first round. So.
How do I pull a sickie from work?
You work from home, just put it on.
Not on a Thursday.
Not on a Thursday. Oof. Error.
Oof.
Also, the toxic mods are here today. The toxic mods are definitely out in force. But yeah, it's like people should be allowed to voice their opinions. They should be also respecting of others. Like, if you want to be able to share your opinion, you need to accept that other people think differently. And
no, that's not how it works. My opinion's the correct opinion, and everyone else is wrong.
Of course,
I learnt my skills on Reddit.
But like, yeah, in all seriousness, like, bad take. Sorry. But yeah, so I'm not a big fan of Age of Empires 4, but people are allowed to be still. Like that's fine. Depends on their opinion. Yeah.
What some haven't realised is if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yes. Yes.
It's not exactly very hard.
No, I completely agree. Like, give it a fair chance. Fine. If you don't like it, still move on. And like the good thing is that I used to love JBR. The good thing is that the player base for Age of Empires 2 has remained about the same levels as it was before. I think it was about 20,000 players per day is kind of normal, and it's stuck to that.
There are people flicking between the two during the day. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But you get a small drop at the beginning no matter what. But then it's not been that big an impact.
No.
So, well, the only big impact was top level ladder for, a week, where there was basically no one. whilst they were doing Genesis, and then they all came back
Yeah.
slowly.
Yep. Some came back a little bit sooner. Basically, in line with when they were out of Genesis.
Yeah.
And depending on how much they're going to be involved in King of the Desert 4.
Yeah, which makes complete sense.
Does.
Well, I know Velez was like, I'm going to focus on Age 4 until I get knocked out,
Mhm.
and then I'll focus on King of the Desert, which makes total sense.
Yeah. But then, obviously, King of the Desert 4 starting tomorrow. And we're going to have a little rundown of kind of the opening fixtures and talk a little bit about what we expect in that. Boo playing Age 4, not at all, to my knowledge.
Oh, you were sexy. No, no. Unless you buy it for me.
Yeah.
And sell my soul to the devil. Which is quite a challenging one because he's already got it.
But yeah, so we'll jump in and start looking through. Oh, it's disappeared now. I did have it there.
You not got Liquipedia up?
I did. It was there. See?
That's 16 ties of best of 5 straight knockout.
The format is another discussion, so I'm not going to go into that today.
I just consider it a last round of qualifiers, really.
It effectively is. It's round of
That's
32. It goes into a group stage after this. So, as you say, it is.
I think last time they had 64 people start, and then 16 got to when they made a group. So they just had 2 rounds of qualifiers for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Really.
But yeah, so opening day we have Tato versus Bad Boy. Should we talk through each set as we go, or just talk about the day as a whole? Day as a whole makes more sense to me.
Day as a whole, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got Tato versus Bad Boy, Nikov versus Song Song, Valesa versus Miguel, Degal versus Fire. Any of those stand out as exciting, close, interesting sets?
I'd rule out Tato Bad Boy, I think. I just think there's too big a gap.
Even though, one of the recurring themes that I'm going to bring up as we go through these is how much people have played Age of Empires 4. I think it's going to have a little bit of an impact.
It will, but it's also Arabia, and the skill gap in this round can be quite big. So I don't think it will matter too much for most of these. There's the odd one where it might.
Yeah. Magnolia saying, wreck your hotkeys. Yeah, it's having an impact, certainly.
I think you could see more single games upset, not sets, though. So, like Tato, I think would just be too good for Bad Boy.
Yeah.
No matter how much Age 4 he's played.
That's probably true. I don't know how much Age 4 Bad Boys played. I know some of the other Vietnamese pros have played a bit. Song Song and ACCM have been on there, but yeah, Tato probably should be too strong for that. Nikov, Song Song?
Nikov will take it. I think Song Song can provide some interesting strats, but it's Nikov's to lose.
Yeah.
And I think he doesn't fall apart yet.
It's when he faces the higher level opponent. Doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, the higher level, when I say high level, I mean top 10 player is when he suddenly seems to almost
top
hit
10 are the ones you can go 2-0 up against and then fall apart.
Yeah.
And it just seems to keep happening.
And then the others, Valesa versus Miguel. Valesa, obviously, as you were just talking about, a lot of.
I think it's got to be Valesa.
But
he came semi-finals last time. Yeah.
Yeah. It should. Again, it should be his to lose.
Yeah. Miguel's good, but Valesa's insane.
Yeah. Miguel's been floating around that top level for a very, very long time, but it's kind of never broken into it.
I don't know if he did back on Boobly. That was probably when he was at his highest. Yeah, I just can't see Velez losing it.
No. Degal Fire, I think that should be fairly comfortable for Degal.
Yeah. I don't think that much more needs to be said.
No, that's it. Just moving on.
Degal is a beast.
Yeah. Again, there's going to be some fairly. I think the first two fixtures on Friday, ACCM Jordan should both win fairly convincingly.
Yeah.
Really interesting to see so many Vietnamese players qualify this time. I think
There are a
there's
lot of players.
5 or 6. Yeah, there's 64
Uh,
players, but still 5 or 6 of them
Bad
being
Boy,
Vietnamese.
Backed, Song Song, ACCM,
ACCM
and
Fish.
Fish, and Say My Name. That's 6.
So you got what, nearly 10% of players in this are Vietnamese, which,
It's
like,
6 out of 32. More like 20%.
sorry, yeah, I was still going on 64 in my head. I probably shouldn't teach maths. But yeah,
Good thing
ACCM
you
and
don't
Jordan.
anymore.
Say again. Lucky I
Good
don't
thing you
anymore.
don't
That's
anymore.
true. True.
Yeah,
Um,
ACCM and Jordan
should
will
be
win.
too strong.
I think it's
Yeah, I think they
like
could even be 3-0.
Dark is what, like 16, 17?
Oh yeah,
He'll have his time,
yeah.
but it's Jordan.
He's definitely one to watch over the next 2-3 years. But at the moment,
Really interesting one to watch.
Capoch Sito going to be closer. I think
This is
that could
this
go
is the
5 games.
interesting one. I would love to see Sito beat him.
Yeah, I would. Like again, Sito is one of those players, one of a group of players that's just on that cusp of
Yeah.
the top 20, let's say.
Um, he should think he's got every single chance.
I think he does this time.
I think that's probably one of the better draws you can get of the
Um,
invited players.
Potentially, yeah. I'm trying to think who would I
I think
prefer.
Vivi's best draw.
Again, I wouldn't want to play Vivi.
I wouldn't want to play him because
No.
of his playstyle,
Yeah.
but I think he's the weakest invited player.
I think Vivi could surprise. Yeah. Vinchester Max, I think Vinchester should win that.
I think he should because Max has sort of not played consistently for a long time.
Max in 1v1s hasn't really done much since Hidden Cup 2. Like
No.
he was so good in that. And then we'd kind of just been waiting for 2 years for him to suddenly kick on, and it's just not happened.
I think he's been busy as well, so he hasn't played
Yeah.
too much. And Vinchester can come up with some very interesting ideas.
Yeah. I always like a Vinchester Civ draft.
I think you see 3 bans at this stage.
That seems
So you
right.
could get rid of some quite good civs, and then
It's the
Vinchester could
unorthodox.
have an ace up his sleeve.
I think getting outside of the established meta is where Vinchester will have the edge over Max as well.
Yeah.
And
Even though
again,
Max has played like that before.
Yeah. But that could be again where Vivi suddenly starts to have a bit more of an edge.
While playing outside the meta.
Making games messy. It was something
That
we
is
saw.
always what made him good.
Yeah. And actually seeing the qualifiers, there were a lot of very, very messy games. Like so much forward aggression early as well, and I really
I think
enjoyed.
that comes from if your map is bad, you know your opponent's is going to be as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's been fairly consistent, and if you've got a good
Yeah.
map, theirs is probably pretty good too. So if you both got a bad map, you may as well be the aggressor.
Yeah, definitely. Then on to Saturday, Yo versus Classic Pro.
That's
Nailed on. I think
yeah, that's nailed on.
Yo, Doubt, and Leary should have relatively comfortable wins there.
Are they all playing that day?
Yeah.
That's going to be over very quickly. Yo 3-0, Leary 3-0, Doubt 3-0.
3-1. I'm going 3-1.
Over.
Bars
is sick.
I think the interesting one is Bhakti versus Slam. And I don't want to call that.
I don't want either of them to be knocked out. I think it depends what Slam turns up.
Yeah, he's the he's an incredible player, but he's that serial underperformer. It's when he
Is
gets
he the
to
Slam who got into Red Bull, or the Slam who kept missing out?
yeah. Solly saying Bhakti wins. I'm inclined to agree. Was it the
I
King of the
refuse.
Desert show match where Bhakti absolutely destroyed? Sorry, I've got Titanic flute going in my ears.
Yeah,
Kiki-san, good
but
to see you. Nice to see
he
you around.
slapped ACCM.
Yeah, so I think it was a 4-0,
4-0.
which is just like 6 months ago. You wouldn't believe that being possible.
I think that makes it edge Bacti, but
Mm,
you could toss a coin on the day.
yeah. Kiku-san saying Slam Jam beats everyone. I know that
I want him to
Kiku-san.
beat everyone.
I know he's a big fan of Slam and regular member of his community. So
Everyone's a big fan of Slam. And if you're not, go play Age 4.
but yeah, then on to Vivi versus Kazva. Now, you're doubting Vivi's abilities. I think if there's anyone he could have drawn that would favour him at this stage, it's Kazva. Because of, again, the amount of Age 4 he's been playing.
Also, Kazva likes to play very passive and defensively, I believe, from watching Hallis.
Mm-hmm.
So Vivi's going to try and take him completely out of his comfort zone. I think it's good draw for Vivi, but I don't think he's nailed on to go through.
And actually, Kazva played against Dragonstar in the qualifying round, the final of it, and Dragonstar
That was a great set.
It was a very, very good set, but he had a lot of difficulty dealing with Dragonstar's aggression.
Dragonstar went 2-0 up, didn't he?
Yeah, very, very good set.
Yeah,
really
so Vivi will probably do it that little bit better.
Viper, say my name.
God, Viper might just pull out some interesting civs.
You think he'll do unorthodox at this point?
I think
Well, he has to
one.
because obviously there'll be the bans.
I think he'll have one civ in his draft that you're just like, what the hell, Viper? And he'll bring it out when he's 2-0 up.
Yeah, like he used to.
When he's got everything to fall back on. He won't go full meme. That'd be ridiculous. No. But he'll have one civ where he's like, I want to try something. And if he gets the chance, he will.
Yeah, he was playing with Gabetto on stream today, but I don't think he'll try that on Arabia. It was an arena game.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did go Gabetto. Because against certain civs, they're really good.
Yeah. MBL versus Brat should be MBL's, and Hera's.
MBL on Arabia is sick.
Yeah, I think MBL is one of the ones to watch in this tournament.
He came second last time.
Yeah, and again, like I do keep harping back to the Age 4 question.
Didn't play it at all.
MBL not playing it at all, so assuming he hasn't been playing much Age 2, so
he was complaining that there was no one on the ladder to play.
Yeah, I think it's been mainly just him and Leary that have stuck around. So yeah, and then Hera versus Zupi. Zupi possibly the lowest rated of the qualifiers. Maybe Fish.
He's down there as one of the bottom ones. Well, it should be the bottom 4 of Daniel Say My Name, Classic Pro and Zupi.
True.
I love Zupi, but he's got no chance.
Yeah, no, I can't. I think
I'd be shocked if he took a game.
Yeah, I think those last two should be maybe Bro can get one against MBL, but the first one before he's properly into it.
Depends if MBL's sober or not in the morning.
Vivi vs Casper though, yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to on that day.
That's probably the best one for that day, yeah.
Who is the more crazy player? Vivi.
Vivi.
Definitely Vivi.
Obviously.
And so while we're still on like King of the Desert, stuff. Like, how much of the so obviously you played in the qualifiers as well. How much of the that scripting of Arabia did you practice?
None.
None. Okay.
I found out I could play on Thursday mid to late afternoon,
Okay.
and I played on Saturday morning.
Right.
I loaded up the map a couple of times.
Yeah. And like,
Quite hard.
how, from your experience of playing it, from watching it, how have you kind of found the different map gens and stuff?
So the thing I really like about it is that it has a lot of variation
Hmm.
in terms of how the map can generate
Yeah.
between open and closed
When
maps.
you go
Because
into
it
a
spawns,
single map tournament, that I think is crucial.
it makes it more interesting and it stops it becoming very stale and you can't do the same thing on every map, which is pretty much what NBL did last time and was really, really effective with
War by minute 6.
it. 3.
3.
Yes, you can spawn between 2 and 4 woodlines. Some woodlines get oasis in them,
Hmm.
so they're dead woodlines. There's loads of hills, which I'm not a fan of and never have been. You can never place
No, I think
TCs.
yeah, they don't need to be that close to TCs either.
And
Like,
like berries on a hill and main gold on the hill can just screw you against Drush or men at arms early on. So I think just need to move the hills slightly further away and have slightly less.
yeah,
And don't have water in the woodlines, like your designated ones next to your TC. Any other one, fair
yeah,
game.
yeah, that makes sense.
But the good side of it is the variation, which you'll see more and less aggressive games, but you have to adapt to it, and you can't pick a certain set of civs that excel in one particular style because you don't know what you're going to get.
So speaking about that, do we have the settings on? Let's go. I'll try and get the settings on screen. I don't think it'll show them on Wikipedia, does it?
Which settings are you after?
The Civ draft and
So best of 3 in the qualifiers was 4 bans, 4 picks each.
yeah.
Best of 5s throughout qualifiers and main event is 3 bans, 6 picks. Then you go to best of 7, it's 2 bans, 8 picks. Then the final is 1 ban, 10 picks, the best of 9. So you'll keep the variety through the tournament, but you just get more and more of the better civs essentially unlocked
The handbook does
later
have a
on.
good graphic of it. There it is. Ray, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
I thought I was
It's
a farmer from Sun.
four bands in. Oh no, that's best of 3. That's done. So yeah, it's 3 bands
Yeah.
in this round. Lohab subscribed. Thank you, Lohab. Very
Wow.
much appreciate that.
Not even subbing to me either.
Lohab, I didn't realize that you were able to subscribe. That's why I'm sounding so surprised. Last I heard, your like PayPal wouldn't work in Croatia, Bosnia. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I'm not okay. But anyway, so we got 3 bands, as we say, and they're all global bands before any of the picking. There's no snipes. It's just bands into picks. You read that, yeah? Okay.
I'll take it into consideration for the weekend.
His mum has been completely.
Cheers, Marianne. Thank you for the sub as well. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so we should see some civs that we don't normally see, particularly at this kind of stage.
Because you'll see what Aztecs, Mayans, Chinese bands, awful lot.
Ethiopians, Vikings,
Franks will be picked a lot.
Britons, maybe.
And then it opens up a bit more. Britain's an interesting one because if you got 4 woodlines every time, they'd be one of the best. But on a 2 woodline map, they'd be fairly poor. So it's a slight more gamble one, but they are a civ you'll probably see a fair bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cheers, Varane. I've just updated that and moved it so it should be in front of them. I've been playing with overlays today, so forgot. yeah, so there's still going to be civs that we don't see picked at all, I presume.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
there'll be a fair few.
I, Brian, thank you for the bits as a test. Appreciate it. Um,
Test.
I wish it didn't work now, so that you'd have to do it again. But anyway, um, I like the normal. So I think the two lowest rated civs on Arabia are Portuguese and Burmese. But I wouldn't ever
I
rule
think
out.
Portuguese are okay.
Yeah, but I was gonna say I
They're
wouldn't.
not. I don't, they're not good enough to use. And they're not unique enough to use either. It's not like Goths who aren't very good but have a very clear use.
Someone like Vinchester MBL will use Goths and use them to their fullest.
Indians is a similar one in that it can do well against some very good civs like Huns.
Yeah.
But generally it's not very good. But it's something you can see towards the end of a draft. If you see your opponent is stacking up on civs like Huns, Franks, even Khmer, the Indians should match up all right against.
Yeah, but from recent memory of watching tournaments, Indians have done terribly versus Franks, even though like on paper
Well,
they
yeah,
shouldn't.
but you just need to be a little bit more careful in how you play Frank Indians.
Yeah.
You can't just go blind scout tonight. See you later.
And with the kind of different civs that we're going to see here, the different map gens, how like it is a little bit more open in general on this version.
Yeah.
Are you expecting differences to the Arabia to the differences to the meta, or do you think it will be very much a case of drush, wall, man at arms?
I think you'll see mostly Drush and Men at Arms. You'll see a lot of walling unless their maps utterly abysmal or there's a huge skill difference.
Yeah.
You'll just probably, as it's a bit more open, you'll probably see more transition into fights, raiding in mid to late castle age rather than trying to rush in with Arb.
Yeah. One thing I really enjoyed in the qualifiers was the like full trash forwards. So like going up 20 pot, sending 4 villagers forward to build a barracks and then a range, going spears, skirms, adding in archers or scouts. I think it's a bit of an older meta, but it was something I
Yes,
certainly
it
enjoyed
is.
watching.
It's an interesting way to play. It throws people what they want to do and how they want to play. It's something that I think the better games we saw with it were with very open maps.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to cause chaos. That's really it. Probably the best situation.
I'm hosting
like
a Socotra tournament, so I clearly like chaos.
I signed up for it.
I know.
Must be mad. Stuff like Japanese would be good with it. Faster attacking spears.
Lithuanians are
cheap.
excellent.
Yeah, Lithuanians. I hate playing against Lithuanians because I forget that skirms will just chase down my archers. I think it's an interesting one. You have a bad civ matchup, sort of the mid game, so you want to make it messy, chaotic. Don't let them macro to their win condition. So a civ like Goth might be a good one for it. To then be able to get the castle down and have Huskarls raiding in chaotic setting where they can't control everything at one go. Try and make alarms be going off all over the place at all times.
Yeah. It's something that I like and want to see more of. And
wouldn't want to see it every game. It's a nice shake-up.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, similarly, I wouldn't want to see Drush FC or Man at Arms Archers every game. Yeah. So just having something. I know you do. Having something else that can be thrown in from time to time, because like for the most part, although I was going to say for the most part, scouts is not something we see particularly often at the top level.
No, they just get walled out.
Yeah, and because of
walls, couple of spears,
and how quick they are with their like palisade walls around resources, around wood lines.
Like as soon as they see a stable, they'll just preemptively do it all. and then just have 2 spears helping
Yeah.
the map properly.
So like just being able to have something else, I think, is just gives that variety. And again, where you've got the same map every time, just adds that a little bit extra.
That is what you want to see. Don't want to see the same strat every game, or
Hopefully
everyone's
not.
just going to get bored. Which is
But
why Socotra's the best one map tourney.
Socotra is definitely the best one map tourney. But yeah, anyone who is watching, we do have Plebs of Socotra sign-ups open. The top bracket does have a €100 prize pool now. So sign up. Thank you, Xerxes. Appreciate the.
If you pay me, I'll rig it for you.
But yeah, we've got a couple of 2K4s signed up, which is very cool.
I'm dead.
Yeah. Varion, it was 100% deliberate. What about the lowest tiered bracket? Nothing at the moment, I'm afraid, Jade. I like having people were signing up, and for any tournament, you'll get people sign up, and it's the top bracket where there's the biggest discrepancy. So it was trying to entice in more people into that top bracket and just kind of build the name of it a little bit. Alfarion, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. That Alfarion sounds very similar to Varion. But yeah, hopefully we'll see some interesting games. Our super low elo people want to receive love too. I understand, Jade. If I had the money, I would absolutely do something at all levels. But yeah, so carrying on with the King of the Desert theme, do you think that they will hold off the balance changes that are in the works until afterwards?
I don't see how they can. It's a November patch and this finishes mid-December.
Theoretically, yes. I mean, like it's there. They've got everything ready. They've just been testing it.
However, they will start on the current patch.
Yeah.
They'll finish on the current patch. It will just be a ball late to come.
Yes, of course. So they have they said that they will stick with that? It makes sense too, I suppose.
They've got to.
Yeah.
Like I don't see any logic of switching patch mid-tournament unless there's a serious issue or it just doesn't change anything.
Yeah. It would only be if it's some stability issues with the previous patch, which I don't think has ever happened. Like when they've updated,
to my knowledge,
nothing's completely broken the previous one. So
no, there was one time they had to go back 2 patches.
Isn't that because they released a patch and then a hotfix? Yeah.
And it was all broken.
So hopefully they have things stable, and it's fairly easy to switch back. And if you're casting live games, it's actually much easier because it means that there's no like thousands of games. Yeah, you can find the one you want easily. It's the one time that the lobby browser actually works. Let's just look running through our little list. So the other upcoming event is in the Genesis kind of line of thinking. The organisers from that Elite Gaming channel are launching a winner stays on style tournament. So first of all, kind of how do you feel about that? I think originally the plan was for the Viper to be like the standing winner for them challengers. But obviously he has decided to focus on King of the Desert 4. Makes complete sense. So they've got a couple of StarCraft players, Marine Lord and Probe, as their starting players.
I think it's just an exciting way to play essentially show matches, whatever, once a week or whenever they do it.
Yeah.
It's just a slightly more exciting format.
Yeah, I think I personally have kind of got a little bit bored of show matches.
Yeah.
There's been so many, but like the crazy
They
thing
just don't
is
prepare for them.
no. The crazy thing is like people will put on a 5 game show match for let's say $500, but then there's other people that put on whole tournaments that attract a similar level player for $500. So like if
Yep.
you're a content creator and you want games to cast and things to talk about, just go straight into a tournament. Like Double Cup,
It's a lot more effort to organise.
it is. That's true, actually. Like Double Cup 2 recently had a $500 prize pool, and you had Jordan, Tato, ACCM, Vinchester all participating.
Oh, like the top end is all top players, just minus like the top 4.
Yeah. And I think I personally have more interest in watching casting that than I probably still cast a show match, but I would prefer to be casting tournament settings that they at least appear to take seriously at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Whereas
carry on. Sorry.
King of the Hill tournament setting, like when it stays on, it incentivizes them to practice, take it seriously, because if you get on the podium, you then have the chance to win every single week, and your money would just go up and up and up.
That's true.
And there is no end to it.
Yeah, and they can just keep, as you say, creating new content from it. But the winner stays on thing is going to be open casting for non-English speakers, from what I understand, and therefore I presume not open to English speakers to cast, which I'm really, really against. I really don't like
not
it.
a massive fan of it either.
No, I like.
Either the event's yours or it's not yours, or anyone can cast it.
Yeah, I don't see like it. The argument would be that by opening it up to other languages, you're hitting a bigger audience. But then that is still true of English casters or English speaking casters. So
Well, yeah, because there's people who won't watch certain streamers, they won't know they exist, they'll just never turn up.
yeah,
Whereas if, say, a bunch of them watched it, you and saw where it was being hosted, some of them might go onto there.
yeah, there are
Hence,
a
they can
large
go
number of people within the community that choose to go to the organizers to watch,
Yeah, a lot of people do.
which I think is a good way of viewing it. But I still try and jump in on the bandwagon. But like the thing is, like that I am not their concern.
You're going to cost them what? Maybe 2 or 3 viewers?
At a push.
Who cares?
But yeah, like
Like,
the view of closed casting, I feel damages. No, he's absolutely right. Like the view of closed casting is that it helps the organizer, but like it's so damaging to smaller streamers. It stops them from growing.
you're more likely over time to gain them viewers than lose them.
I feel so.
Who could cost them viewers with T90 gone?
Hera,
Obviously, JBR.
Hera, Nilly, Mem. They're the 3 main ones. Xerxes. Just need Xerxes to start streaming. Streaming the years. I'm only interested in tourneys that JBR is involved in. So currently, I can't say anything because I don't want to spoil.
He can become a POS.
That's true. I could sign up for my own tournament. I'm not going to.
Why not?
But because I want to remain impartial.
I remained impartial last.
Yeah, but in case there's any difficult admin decisions, I need to make the
Basically, in case there's admin decisions.
that affect you. Don't think us mods don't know about your Smurf. I guarantee
Which one?
I have 0 Smurfs. I have 1 account and that is it. I'm happy to swallow you. Cheers, Varian. But yeah, so I really do feel that open casting is a far better way to grow yourself as well as the community. Like host a tournament and then have in there that you have to include your organization's name within the title, and suddenly your name is all over Twitch.
Everywhere.
Like
And then usually there's a banner in the corner as well that has
Yeah.
their name on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you suddenly, like, so EGC this weekend having at least 200 pixels by 200 pixel banner. Yeah, exactly. Like have set requirements to what it is, and then for Genesis at the weekend, that was all anyone was casting. Like you can open up Twitch if you're a fan of the Age of Empires franchise, and all of the streamers that you would normally watch would have had Genesis hosted by EGC in the title. Your name is hitting thousands and thousands more viewers than you attract to your stream.
There's also a thing of you'd probably click on the person you like most, say Nilly, go to Nilly. Maybe you think he hasn't got best grasp of AoE 4 at the moment. The game. Where is the first place you're going to go if you're not feeling it in your stream?
Yeah,
To the person
to
who
the
hosted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally what you're going to do.
And if you're not, so if you want to go to, let's say, Nilly, but you don't like T90, then again you're going to switch to, because they were casting it together, you're going to switch to someone else. Odds are it's going to be the host again.
Yeah.
So I think it's a far bigger way to grow by open casting. And I've got a ton of respect for T90 as, like, even from when he first started, who never operated close casting. I don't get close casting, especially when there's an outside sponsor. Ray, 100% agree. Like, that is the prime example of when you want it open. You want to reach as many people as possible. You want your name everywhere. Just baffling why they wouldn't. Like that time Mayor asked for $1,000 to cast a tournament Microsoft sponsored. Yeah. Yeah, that was that King of the Desert 3 or 2?
2, I think.
Yeah.
It was based on the size of your channel.
Yeah.
The bigger it was, the more you
that
paid.
was it. Yeah. No, it was definitely 3. I cast King of the Desert 3. I wasn't there for 2. And I remember that being part of the rules. I was too small,
wow.
so it didn't matter. But yeah, that was only a year ago then. That was part of the requirements.
I know. I think he did that for a small tournament, and just no one else bothered.
He asked for 1K from streamers. So basically, if it was basically a sliding scale based on how many viewers you had to be classed as an official caster for it. So me as a tiny one didn't do anything. I didn't have to pay anything. But T90 you have to fork over 1,000. Yeah, exactly. Like, it was, the bigger you were, the more you have to pay. But like, I just think it's like, games
I've got a genius
press.
idea.
Yeah.
You host a tournament, massive tournament, charge every streamer a $5 to cast it.
Mhm.
Done. You get a nice weekend treat.
Yeah. But yeah,
Just need someone to bankroll it.
True. Anyone want to bankroll a tournament? No, so I still would be against even putting on any form of fee to cast. I think, like, again, it was the Champions League thing that Hera ran last year with his team Tempo.
It was only the participants.
Participants. Wasn't it also foreign language streamers?
No.
No. Okay.
It was just the 4 of them.
Okay. So
And Leary didn't
participants
stream,
only.
so it was only 3.
And so T90 not being allowed to cast it went, okay, I'll run a show match, and took thousands of viewers away because he was running his own show match. I think I joked about that on AoE Zone. Hidden Cup 4 should have been open casting to everyone but men. I'm glad to see that the bigger streamers are moving away from that, and I just hope that that's kind of the general focus of the scene is open casting for everything, because it benefits everyone that way.
Ray's missing a couple of zeros.
Say again, sorry?
Ray's missing a couple of zeros on.
Yeah. About in the title of casting. Yes, Xerxes, you're right. He did.
He thought he could get away with casting Rex
That was it.
just after that had happened.
Yeah.
And Herod was.
Yeah. No, there was. I remember there being a lot of controversy around that.
Open casting removes any chance for that.
Yeah.
Another benefit.
I completely agree. I think it's hopefully going to be the way forward.
Unless you've got like a LAN event, I think it's the sensible way forward. A LAN event is different.
Yeah. I don't know.
But then you have the issue of languages.
Again, so like the prime example there is Red Bull 5. By having that as a LAN event and inviting the biggest streamers as your presenters for the day, if Red Bull had that as open casting, they're not losing viewers to me. They're not losing viewers to Ornlu or to Leadercore. They would still get their 90,000 or whatever it was for the final. They may miss out on 5 to me. Everyone would still watch the LAN only. Yeah, entirely right.
2 of whom probably would only watch it because it's you.
Yeah, and like someone like Xerxes, as an example, is not interested in the pro scene at the moment, but he might stop by the stream to give me some abuse or be nice sometimes.
Wow.
But yeah, I hope that we're going to have more inclusive events. I hope that's the general avenue that we go down. I think we've run through everything that I'd planned for discussions. Now at the end of Red Bull 5,
Nice.
everyone turned on to stream Red Bull 5. Yeah, so like for the final, didn't all of the players turn on their streams and just hosted it?
A bunch of them did.
Yeah.
And then hosted.
Again,
Red
makes
Bull.
complete sense. JBR, which tournament that you have not been a part of has been your favourite to spectate? Masters of... Oh no, I was a member... I played in it. It was going to be Masters of Socotra, but I played the first round. So that... I mean, that counts in my eyes. Like, I wasn't part of that tournament. It was so fun. I loved casting it. I loved watching it. Just the absolute shithousery of the participants, seeing 2 pros rage quit in the middle of a tournament. That is the epitome of what a tournament should be. That's just fantastic.
It's perfect. Because you just got to get yourself into the right mindset of, this is horrific. Everyone's going to have a bad time. I just need to have a less bad time than you.
Yeah, except that is the meta on the map. Can someone fill us in? I'm trying to remember who the players were. I'll have a little look on AoE Zone.
Stark was one of them. He forfeited after 1 game against Dragonstar.
Which I like. I can't remember who the other one was.
Draken. So Stark was the last round of qualifying.
Oh, okay.
Draken got into the main event. Played against Vinchester and was 2-0 down and rage quit because Vinch just kept laming the shit out.
I mean, so my round in it was against the Bloodless, and thankfully he didn't do that. He didn't need to, but if he had, maybe my experience of it would have been different. I think I'd be better at taking it now. My mindset has changed considerably since then, and I think it would just be fun. I think I'd see the humour in it, because that's what it's about. It's about denying resources from your opponent, and vil fighting is to be expected in Dark Age.
Just completely normal.
Yeah. And it's why I'm so excited to be hosting Plebs of Socotra.